a lot of people like the quick headline video last week about doing 10 headlines real quick, something that's happening this week that most people are missing because they don't hit the actual mainstream news. This week we're going to shorten it even more. We're going to talk about 5 headlines today that are happening this week, things that are mentioned already and happening in the news that I think we're missing. If we're not careful and we don't pay attention, it will affect you more and more. You need to pay attention to what's going on around you so that way you can prepare better. Let's jump into these stories today. I think it's going to be a good video, and it starts right now.
Call it off, let it go, all for nothing.
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's okay if you don't like the video, but tell us why. Give us constructive criticism to hopefully make our channel better, and that way more people in the comments below can learn from other things that you are sharing. This is Friday, so we're going to be doing the giveaway on Sunday. So if you are not subscribed to this channel and the Max Life, get subscribed because we're going to be doing a giveaway, something free for all our subscribers, and a random selection for one of the subscribers on Sunday. So if you're not subscribed to both channels, please go do that right now. Also check out this shirt. This is the Eat Meat shirt. I love meat, of course, and we raise it all on farm. This is one of the shirts from our bonfire link, so check it out if you're interested in supporting us through the t-shirts. They're really awesome and they're comfortable, and you can get them in organic cotton, you can get it in a simple economy shirt, so check those out below. Now let's jump into the headlines. Number 1. First story is on North Korea and Russia relations. It's already tied into China, Iran, all that relation. But I really want to hone in on North Korea and Russia. Now the story, of course, is Russia and North Korea are having better relations. They're visiting each other's countries. Now remember, you already have a volatile situation in Ukraine and Russia does not like America and its policy so much anymore because of all the sanctions and the fact that we're basically doing this proxy war. Another story for another day, but we shouldn't even be over there. It's crazy. I think we're getting ourselves in World War III, by the way. But what I'm scared of is you're seeing North Korea and Russia develop the relationship. China, Russia, and North Korea developing relationships. Again, those are world powers with nukes. Also, Iran is having the capabilities of nukes. And here we are, we're giving them $6 billion last week and some terrorists back. So that relationship in the headlines that Russia and North Korea are sharing more time together scares me. And they're having warm relationships, warm visits. Those are terminologies that are being used. Also, the big story is North Korea is testing more missiles into the sea. Now, they've done that for a long time, but if all of a sudden Russia, China comes beside North Korea, gives them more capabilities, and you got someone just enough crazy like North Korea to get in a shooting war and a nuke war, that can be very dangerous for us here in America. That was one of the biggest fears, and I think the last administration did really well with it. But if we're showing weakness in this administration, I'm scared that this relationship could be very, very dangerous as we move further into their country, as we want to work this, as we do this proxy war, as the West is pushing, NATO is pushing into Ukraine. This could be very detrimental and could be really sparks of World War III. Number 2, the Bidens. Now, we're going to hit a few headlines real quick. You have Hunter getting indicted this week, firearms charge. Now, I don't think this is the right indictment. I do believe this is just a way for them to kind of get out of all the other stuff that he may be in. I think we should be looking at higher, heavier charges on the espionage and maybe some treasonous charges, but they're skipping over the harder charges for these easier charges. Now, it's encouraging that they're even doing anything, but I think we as conservatives are missing it, and I believe they're going at him at the wrong way to give him an easier, lesser charge. So watch that. Now, I do see a lot of Democrats pushing against Biden. I do see him faltering, making more mistakes. I believe if you put him on a campaign stage and you see him in campaign mode, I think you're going to see his deterioration even worse. Therefore, I think you're starting to see push against him. Now the question is, who is going to come up in the ranks? Is it going to be Kamala? Is it going to be Gavin? Is it going to be Michelle? Is it going to be someone that we don't see yet? It's happening right now in front of you that they are ready to get Biden out of this because his approval ratings are terrible. And they honestly believe if he faces Trump, he does not stand a chance. So I think they're going to look for someone a little bit more powerful than Biden. So look at the Biden family this week. This is some big stories happening with his flub ups, of course, when he was across the seas, as people kind of cut him off, the Hunter Biden situation, and the fact that you're seeing some key Democrats kind of turning on him. How's that going to impact us? And if we see a stronger, more charismatic, more appealing Democrat candidate should conservatives worry. Number 3 is a big one, and I think it's going to impact us more and more, especially when we talk economics. 1.2 million people, native-born Americans, have lost their jobs last month. 1.2 million. Now, here's the kicker. There was an increase of 700,000 people that were foreign-born, that were not U.S.-born, that took jobs in August. Now, I want everybody to work and take care of themselves. But if we're seeing more of our younger individuals, we're seeing more of our USA-born citizens all losing jobs, or not replacing the jobs, or not working and just living off the government. And then we're allowing people to come into the country and then, of course, hopefully gain citizenship, definitely. But it's one of those things where they're wanting to work and take the jobs. What is the typical American going to do? Just sit at home and let the government take care of them? Well, that's going to go back on the backs of people who are paying taxes. Also, the fact that we're going to print more money to take care of people. And we're already seeing Bidenomics and the middle class going away based on all this inflation and all this free money and all this subsidies that we're doing. So the loss of 1.2 million people that are USA born not working in the last month, and then all of a sudden 700,000 foreign-born individuals coming into work, that is a crazy swap, and I'm scared we're going to keep seeing that trend go up. And what is going to happen to the U.S. jobs, the American people needing jobs? Are they going to be able to find them? Number 4, there's a story that shows that there is more money going into the market, into money markets, because they're able to make a little bit more interest than keeping them in banks. So you're seeing a very heavy transfer of people's money from banks into the market. 2 problems I would say that we need to keep an eye on. 2 things we need to keep an eye on here. First, we're putting it into a market that is still volatile, and that we may not have access to the market as quick as if we could just run down to the bank. So you may lose some accessibility to the bank. Another reason is who's over the money market accounts. Well, again, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, all the big players are over the market. So are we investing in those money markets that are actually not helping us other than giving us a little bit more interest? All the while we're hurting the banks, because the banks are now pleading to the Fed and pleading to the government to tap into emergency funds. But some banks are really struggling. So we see a movement away from, again, the small and the regional banks. The bigger banks are totally fine because they're able to offer a little bit more competitive rates to the money markets. Well, then if they're not going to the bigger banks, which is scary in itself, they're maneuvering to the market, which is allowing more money to go into the money market accounts that are regulated by the big players also. Now, if you have money in the market, no problem. I put mine a few years ago back into cash holding, which would be a money market. But we wanted to stay away from some of the big players. It was hard to find that. So just be careful and just kind of watch this story. As banks are still struggling, they're asking for more money from the government as people are moving money to the stock market. Not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying who is over a lot of the money in the stock market, and does it have accessibility? Number 5. The infighting in the Republican Party. Now, you see the Freedom Caucus or the conservatives and even some of the more libertarian views of the conservative party, the populists, kind of pushing against the rhinos. We see Mitt Romney leaving, which is a good thing. We see some of the older ones. We're seeing more older ones, like more pushback on McConnell, Cornyn, those guys, to get out and find new people that can help run the party, and I'm hoping you'll see more conservative names. I know Brandon Herrera has thrown his name in for a congressman in Texas, which I think is a good fit for freedom, of course. But we're seeing the fact that there's some infighting with the Speaker of the House, McCarthy, and the Freedom Caucus saying, hey, if you want to file a motion to get me out of here, let's go through it. That infighting and that battle, what I'm hoping is it does not take away with maybe some good investigations that may go on. I told you a few videos ago, I'm sick of hearings. I'm sick of all the talks of indictments. I'm sick of all that. I wish they would just say, look, we'll wipe all this away if you wipe all this away on both sides, and let the people decide if they want Biden or Trump, and let it go straight to that. But that's not going to happen. So if we see more infighting, are the Freedom Caucus people, who I believe that I lean more towards, are they going to stand to their guns, have a backbone, and say, look, if you don't do this, we will take you out, McCarthy, and find a new guy to lead us? That needs to happen. But the infighting and the fact that we've got some older senators, we've got some retiring, there's a lot of volatility in the Republican Party. We see the fact that Donald Trump is pretty much winning the nomination unless something really crazy happens. So there's going to be a lot of, it's going going to be a lot of tug of war coming along with the Republican Party. I think we're going to see the same thing when this whole Biden situation goes through. This whole Biden fiasco kind of works itself out as well. So what I'm saying is we're going into a very tense election year, election time. There's going to be a lot of naysaying. There's going to be a lot of manipulation, a lot of propaganda, a lot of psyops when it comes to even the Republicans. Stay strong and focus on the conservative movements. If you're conservatives like I am and you want freedom, I believe you have to be careful of some of the rhinos that are now getting in leadership. And we need to make sure that the conservatives who are saying they're going to hold them accountable actually do it. So these are the things happening this week. We need to pay attention to these things. I know my cat's like want me to rub him down. I know that we talk about some of these stories. I know you hear bits and pieces of them, but I do believe we need to look at these 5 things and say, okay, what can we learn from them? We see war issues. We see both parties having some major issues. We see the fact that middle class is struggling. We see jobs leaving for non-natural born people that are coming into the country. All of those things will affect your money, will affect your politics, which will affect your regulations, and will cause more issues that you will have to prepare for. So be careful. Pay attention to what's going on around you. When we gain wisdom, we will start seeing things more clearly. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this video. And again, check out these cool shirts. We have some new Freedom lines in there. Go check them out. If you like them, great. Christmas is coming up. I think that'd be a great way to support. If you do, share those links to us on Twitter, on Truth Social, on YouTube. We'd love to see them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.
Oh,